And it's just amazing. It's just amazing to me what happens in the NFL. This narrative generating machine, as I always like to call it. And I always like to, do origin stories and Genesis stories, which is going to be the basis of a new podcast that I'm doing with Westwood One called Just Getting Started, which I am promoting in a way by dropping it right here.
Holler.
Well, as you know me, there's an I in Rich and Eisen, and if not me, who, and if not now, when. But that's going to be launching in early March. And I just love how dominoes fall and how things work out. Would Wentz still be on the Eagles if Josh McDaniels didn't flake on the Colts?
That's funny.
If McDaniels didn't flake on the Colts, then Reich doesn't get the job in Indianapolis, and maybe Wentz comes back from his knee injury and feels more confident and has a better season. Right? The Bucs this year just won it all. Spoiler alert. We've got their general manager, Jason Light, on tomorrow's show.
I still can't believe they won.
Correct. They went on a
You
run.
can't believe it.
Now, what's going to happen to this Bucs team and the players that either are going to stay or leave, and those who stay, will they be champions again, to use a phrase from my alma mater? Will that all work out because they didn't lose either one of their coordinators, which usually happens to a Super Bowl team? Would Carson Wentz and the Eagles still be together? Because if we're saying this is a perfect marriage in Indianapolis, and I am saying that this is a good mix. I mean, it's a good roll of the dice here for Chris Ballard, who is your general manager there in Indianapolis. And because what are the alternatives at this spot? You want to run it back from 2019 with Jacoby Brissett? Do you want to run it back with your own fresh rookie starter? You want to do that? Or do you want to go roll the dice on somebody who's still young with a tremendous upside that your coach says, I got this? And it's just a couple years of a ton of freight salary cap-wise. Because if it doesn't work out in the next 2 years, you could just say it cost us a 3 and a 1, but we made the playoffs that year, or a 3 and a 2, and then you're saying that's done. Makes sense from Indianapolis. Makes, to me, makes a sensible point. But if you're saying that this is a perfect marriage, I just wonder, what if Josh McDaniels said, I'm coming? What would everything look like right now?
Does Andrew
New
Luck
England,
still retire?
What is happening
Right.
to all these franchises? And that one moment where we're like, he just wants to stay in New England after all. We'll see how that works out. And just
He talked to Bill, and then
that one decision, how has that affected so much?
Yeah. Wow.
You figure if Peterson gets fired, Reich takes over in Philly, Wentz still stays in Philly, maybe.
I don't know. And then obviously, I don't want to
go there. Right?
I don't want to also take another leap. I don't know if Phillip doesn't go. I don't know.
Right.
But I don't want to take another leap here because when you're talking McDaniels in New England, whether he's there and whether he's not, Brady does have to come in the equation. I don't know how that would, and that this all cascaded in a way that we don't know otherwise.
You mean does Tom go to the Colts?
I don't know.
Oh,
no, I'm
man.
not saying that. Does Tom ever leave? And that's a totally unfair just assumption. But I'm just throwing ripples in the pond just as food for thought. Because that's what I thought when I heard, Frank's got Wentz in Indianapolis, which if I had strolled up to you that night, Chris, in the 3-degree weather as we were leaving U.S. Bank in Minnesota after watching your Patriots lose to the Eagles, if I had told you as we were strolling out, you would probably thought I was frostbitten in my head. Hey, Reich is going to be coaching the Colts with Wentz in 2021.
Jeez.
3 years from now.
Yeah, right.
And Doug Peterson will be gone. And Josh McDaniels is going to take the job in a couple months, but leave. And Reich's going to take that job. Honestly, you can't make it up. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.